Hi, my name is Courtney and I'm here to talk to you about the professional dispositions for learners. I believe that I hold 8 of the 10 professional dispositions for learners, and that the 2 that I don't hold, I will get as I continue in my career, seeing as that I'm just starting out. First disposition I believe that I hold is respect for the diversity of others. Growing up, I was always around people of different cultures, people of different races, different genders and sexualities, people with different families, and I think that's very important to have in a classroom, especially in an early childhood classroom. So in my classroom, we have different manipulatives and toys of showing different abilities, diversities, gender roles, and we even have books that both I read and books in our library that the students can read constantly that show different things to help students understand that they need to respect the diversity of others. The second disposition is high expectations. I do hold high expectations for my students, but I do weigh their strengths and weaknesses to decide those expectations, and I kind of see where they're at and what they're best at and what's good for them. I don't make my expectations based off what my lesson plan should say or what a standard might read. I make it off of my students, and that's what's most important. The next disposition is fairness. Now, fairness in pre-K is very difficult at times. Everyone wants what they want when they want it, but we do work on that quite often. And my goal as their teacher is to help them problem solve all the time. To get them those social emotional skills as they're growing up is very important in my classroom, and I hold fairness to be very important. I'm very fair in my personal life, so I'm very fair at work. I believe that professional conduct is very important. Having great communication with your assistants, your administration, and everyone involved in your student learning is very important to me. Having that self-respect and as well as the respect for your colleagues is very important. Curiosity is very important in my classroom. Curiosity is what encourages students to love learning because they learn through exploring things that they love. I use curiosity as ways to teach my students to be creative, to think out of the box, and pose problems that are a little bit tricky for them, but they can use their curiosity and creativity to figure them out. Honesty is important no matter where you are in the world, no matter what's going on in your life, whether you're a teacher or not. And so honesty in the classroom is just as important. I always tell my children that I won't lie to them and I won't break a promise ever. And having that stability is really important for them and for their development. And children of all ages need that stability and that honesty. What would pre-K be like without compassion? If I didn't have compassion for my job, for my students, my classroom would never run. Students ages 4 and 5 like mine are need that love and that compassion for them to show them what compassion is by being compassionate for them. So I greet my students every day and I'm always there to offer a hug when needed. Dedication is very important, whether being dedicated at home, dedicated with your family, dedicated in religion. Dedication is very important, and dedication at school is just as important. Having that passion and having that punctuality and the active listening in your classroom, those are all things that show your students you're dedicated and help you be more dedicated yourself. The 2 dispositions that I do believe I still need to work on are advocacy and reflection. One of the things I want to work on is advocating for my students. Now, I do advocate for my students pretty well right now, and I think this is a skill that I'll get with advocating more, but I do think right now I'm working on advocating with the parents on what's right for their kids, because not everything is right for every kid, and going by a book isn't exactly what's going to work best for your child. So I'm trying to advocate for my students right now with their parents. I'm trying to be more reflective in my personal life, my professional life, my work life, every kind of life I've got. I'm just trying to be more reflective in it, and I think this is something that I'm going to struggle with for a while. Being a self-reflective practitioner is something I strive to be, but often find that I lack sometimes in just basic understanding of what I should be reflecting on and what I don't need to waste my time reflecting on. I believe a teacher, a professional educator, should be someone who holds all 10 of these dispositions at a great value and strives every day to be the teacher who uses these as guidelines and standards for their teaching. Any teacher or educator who's using these dispositions will find that their classroom might run better, that their day might be easier, and that they just find that they're being the most effective and best educator that they could possibly be.